Oh,
No.
My rainbow belt.
oh, those don't fit you anymore. Can you say hi? Say hi in the microphone. No, in the microphone.
Hi.
Is the audio recording? Oh, yes.
Okay.
Lily, say for the girls.
For the girls.
Yes, honey. Lily is our newest member of For the Girls podcast.
Say brought to you by Relationship Restored. That's a lot. Can you say that? Say it.
No.
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 See it.
You don't say that? Okay. Go to daddy. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Oh my God.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of For the Girls, brought to you by Relationship Restored. Today, we are talking about upgrading a man. What just happened over there?
We just had a moment.
For the
Wait, bring it in, Pre. I said Pre. God damn it.
I think what the problem is this pole.
Yeah.
It won't allow her to connect.
Oh, it's okay.
We're so mad that Cece doesn't have her curls out because we would have been twinning
I know.
today.
I like feel.
Triplets.
We started filming so early. Like my curls, it's a process.
Yeah.
To like get them to where they need to be. So y'all gonna
These
get
are my
this
last
bun.
night curls, actually.
See,
I was very
Bree
impressed.
has the curls where she just washes and it's beautiful.
Can't relate.
Mine, I gotta like
Yeah.
infuse moisture.
Yeah, no, same. I gotta diffuse it. Like it's a whole thing.
It's a process.
So you gotta-
However, the slick back is given.
Well, you
Yeah.
know,
It always gives.
Always.
It's always very nice and
I like a
contoured
good-
with the face.
I like a good bun.
You like a good bun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what are we talking about?
Upgrading a
man.
Oh boy.
I know. Well, I think this is the most common situation. When you do upgrade somebody, meaning, it could be their style, it could be their credit, it could be their lifestyle, it could be, a lot of things. I think the thing that sucks, it doesn't suck when you're doing it, right? And when you're enjoying and reaping the benefits of it. Sucks when the breakup happens and he gives all of that upgradedness
another
to
girl.
somebody else.
Yeah.
And the reason why, if the relationship ended, is because he couldn't get his act together. So now you upgraded and you get your act together with a different girl.
Yeah,
that sucks.
I mean, so that actually happened with Shane, not with me, obviously. I'm reaping the benefit of it.
Yeah.
But with his ex. Like him and his ex were together for like 5 years. They lived together. So they got together when he was in New York, and then when he moved to Houston, she moved to Houston with him. And it was just like, but he knew that like she wasn't gonna be the one, but they stayed together for so long, and like she was with him while he was in residency. So like if you guys know anything about like
Tough schedule.
like medical professionals during their residency, they're like typically on call, they're broke, and so she was with him through like some of his hardest years, like going through residency. And then when he actually graduated, he actually started making big money. Like she was with him then, and then he was like, you know what, I'm moving to DC and I don't want to bring you with me. Like that was hard, you know. I'm sure for her, like I you know, and I like, I'm sorry, sis, but also thank you. Like, you know,
Yeah.
but I even like when Shane and I got together, he was already a phenomenal man, but there was a little bit, you know, that I would have liked to see. And luckily, my man is very, very receptive to like anything that I want. Like I said this before, like anything that's gonna make me happy, Shane's like on board for it. So like, and it didn't take a lot, right? Like for me, it was just like, we had to find him a new barber. Listen, I did not like his barber when we first started dating. He had this like his hair was like tall, but like
Oh my God, yeah, I remember that.
yeah, it was, but it wasn't like
Tamed.
it wasn't nicely manicured like Dre's, like how Drake is like Shane. It didn't have it wasn't there.
Was the barber like of color?
He was, but he was a little older. It was just, we was like, we needed a new barber. And honestly, I like waves. So
Yeah.
I've always been a wave check kind of girl.
So you
like,
upgraded his hair.
you know,
you got his curls
we
together.
upgraded his hair. Also, he now allows me, I do all his shopping.
We were just talking about
wish.
that.
I do all
She curates
I do all
the
his
closet.
shopping, and he actually likes it because with him it's like, you know, for him, it's like, whatever you want to see me in, buy it. Like, as long as you like it, like, that's all that matters. He's like, I could give a shit, like, what I'm wearing. I mean, kind of, because like he's vain, so he likes to look good, but he knows that I have good taste, I have good style, so I'm always gonna pick something that he looks fine as hell in, and so like it's like stuff like that. So like sometimes when I think women are dating and they come across a dude who's a phenomenal dude, but maybe his style isn't really there, and maybe like there's some things like he wears his like geeky glasses, maybe he would look better with contacts or whatever it might be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't say like don't write off a man just because he doesn't have
upgrade.
That's not a red flag. We talk a lot about red flags. That one's not a red flag.
No.
That's a let me upgrade.
Okay, and my husband will tell you, like, since we've been together, like he says all the time, my wife has made my life tremendously
That's what I was
better.
about to say. To me, upgrading a man, I think in some better terms, is just bringing out the best in a person.
Providing value.
When you're providing value to that person, you're upgrading. They might be phenomenal in like one area of life that doesn't need any help. That could possibly upgrade you.
Yes.
But there's some other areas that they just lack. And I'm gonna give you the concrete examples in our relationship. Sean, he is not the most organized man. Financially, he's not adventurous. So he was kind of his little box, and I changed that about him. Like, he'll jump off the cliff with me, maybe just one time, but he'll try. He can say he's done it.
Yeah.
Finances, it was a struggle. And I'm not the best at finances, but, my parents taught me the right way to handle finances. So I try to instill that in him. Like, systemic racism probably has had an effect on his family. Like, the importance of retirement, the importance of life insurance, all these things that he never really like thought about before. I just put it in place for him. He's like, cool, you do what you got to do. Just where do I put my signature? When I set up our whole variable life insurance, he's like, that's awesome. Let me just sign, where I got to sign my name. And funny enough, I upgraded his fitness. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all.
Ooh, yeah,
I know it doesn't look.
I need to hear this.
If you look at our Instagrams, it looks like he's the fitness person, and he is. When we met, you know what he brought to my house? Like when he came over to hang out the first time, he brought a Dunkin' Donuts bagel with cream cheese spread and a Snickers.
What's wrong with that? No, I'm just kidding.
But Brie did the because
I'm like, that sounds great.
Could you ever see Sean eating that right now?
No, Sean would never bring that
Before
now.
he worked out.
Sean brings rice, shrimp, or like asparagus to dinner. Like we're out to dinner with friends at a nice restaurant, and Sean brings his
We're
meal.
toasting drinks, and he has a black coffee.
Like,
that's him. But like in the beginning, before he worked out, he would eat an almond Snickers. Like, and so I'm like, let me put you on to some things like organic food, protein, meal prepping. He used to swear by, what is it, Skippy peanut butter, or is it the Peter Pan?
Jiffy? Oh,
Jiffy.
No. Skippy is the Peter Pan. I know
Yes. And then I like turned it around. I was like, Sean, there's so much sugar in this.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? I mean, it's just peanut butter. So then I showed him like the organic. I was like, look, this just is peanuts. He was like, what? Ever since then, he'll tell you. He'll get on this camera and say, I upgraded his peanut butter.
I'm just mad because Sean literally just left.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to see his face and get validation.
He would admit it. He would totally admit it. Now, Sean has definitely upgraded me. I never used to wear a sneaker a day in my life. But honey, he got my little Jordan game together. I don't know what number it is. He buys it. Was it the 4s, the 1s, the 10s, the 11s? I don't know. But he buys it. He says, that's the shoe. And I wear it and I'm like, cool. And then I see on Instagram, I'm like, oh, that's the shoe. I got that one. Or people will comment on my shoes like, dang, those are fire. Like, I know. Thanks. Yeah. So yeah, like we've upgraded, like he's upgraded my fashion, like he's the fashionable one. Like he upgrades that type of stuff for me. So I think it's fun when you can upgrade each other. So when we talk about upgrading, I think it's just like polishing, bringing out the best in someone. Yeah. And obviously I brought out like a fitness monster, but I brought out the best in him.
Yeah.
He surpassed. I was here and he was here.
Yeah.
Now he's over there and I'm still a little bit right here with the
Yeah.
fitness. So, and then I mean, you know, he's a trainer now. He's done all the education. So I really feel like I brought that out of him, and he'll admit it. So that I think that was an upgrade.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I never knew that about you guys.
Yes.
Me neither. Like,
I thought Sean came out
Fun
the
fact.
womb like
Right,
doing
just
fucking curls.
So he was always like, I mean, he was an athlete in college, so he's always into fitness and stuff, but he didn't realize that there was another side to fitness.
Yeah.
It's
The
what you're eating
nutritional
too.
aspect.
yeah.
So, I mean, of course, he took that and like ran with it, because
Yeah.
that story is a true story
Yeah.
for the Kevin Hart, what was his show? We were all at this amazing like tapas style restaurant, and we're getting the plates brought to us, and Sean pulls out his Tupperware, opens
Yes.
it up.
Yeah.
It honestly depressed me a little bit.
Shane
I
was like, damn.
Damn, bro.
Or no, how about the time that we went bowling and me, Dre,
It was his
and
birthday.
Angela, I know, it was what, me, Dre, and Angela on Sean's birthday at the bowling alley all got shrimp skewers. It was literally just shrimp on sticks. And I'm like, oh, he could definitely eat this, right? No, y'all,
oil.
he could not. What did he eat?
His meal.
asparagus
We went back
and-
to the hotel and he prepped his meal. So I
On
mean, there's
his
a different.
birthday.
There's a Sean who's in prep for a show, and then there's a Sean who like is
Oh, yeah,
eating
so
healthy.
Sean
he
does
probably would have ate
bodybuilding,
the
for those of
skewers
you who
if he
don't
wasn't in prep.
Okay.
And he probably would have found something healthy
Yeah.
on the menu.
Yeah,
but
yeah, for sure.
like if he's on prep, he's pulling out the
Yeah.
So
and I don't know
But
if you
yeah.
guys heard when Brie just said Sean's in bodybuilding. So you guys are like, prep for what? He's a bodybuilder.
Prep, yeah. So, but I think he became the bodybuilder. I think I'm the one who I know. I'm the one who put that and upgraded that in him. So yeah,
I know that's right.
Yeah,
Now,
so-
Brie. So
yes. Let's hear the stories.
So I
the
always love
upgrades.
hearing Brie and Dre's stories because their relationship is non-traditional, like how they got together, and they got together young. So both of them have grown tremendously individually and together.
Yeah.
Can I have a guess real quick? Okay, so Dre, because he doesn't really care about his stuff, like his like organization, stuff like that, style, shoes, stuff like that.
So
really,
it's funny because Dre, for the first few years of us dating, he did not care at all what I thought about what he wore. He would wear things that I would be like, I don't like when you wear that. He did not care. He's like, well, I like it. I'm like, well, geesh. Now that we're married, like I actually the other day bought him a trench coat that not a trench coat, a peacoat that he liked. And like his style has over time
evolved.
I mean, y'all have seen our closet, or if you haven't, check out my Instagram.
Listen,
yes.
Because
pretty-
our closet is color coordinated. It's
impeccable.
very neutral.
The best part is you would
wouldn't
know what Dre wears because in all the pictures, Brie makes him take his shirt off. Like,
I'm like, no, we'll be
she'll be like, shirt off.
We'll be planning our looks, and it'll be like 10 looks out, and you'll see like my top, my bottoms, my like accessory, and then it's like shorts for Dre. Then it's like my dress,
how
my
Dre's, like, not
shoes,
paying us
and then
any
it's
mind.
like his pants, and he's like, where's all my tops? I'm like, you don't need tops. You don't
need tops.
It's okay.
I mean,
But
wasn't
but-
it you who got him into modeling, right?
Well, so yeah. I kind of pimped him out a little bit.
Upgrade.
What I would say is when we first got together, there was immediate ways in which he upgraded me, and that was my financial literacy. First and foremost. And it was this like balance, I guess, of like I was such a hustler, and like I could sell dirty sand to a beach. I could sell like smelly air fresheners to a farm that already stinks. Like I could sell anything to anybody. Like I was good at making money and making sales, making connections. And on the flip side of that, you know, because I was so used to fast money, I was so used to spending money how I wanted. And so he upgraded me in a sense of like, hey, financially, you need to be more aware. And if you want to plan for the future, and if we're going to be together and build together, these are some things that, you know, you have to work on. For me, you know, Dre was working as a property manager. He worked in the same building that we like lived in, and we were living in a very, very small studio.
But it was cute.
It was like a 1-bedroom studio apartment. We had 1 bathroom. We definitely made it cute, but it was like, again, in my sense, I was like, oh, oh, I thought, you know, we would get like a nicer, bigger place. And once we finally did, Dre told me, he was like, I'm glad that you pushed me to do that, because now the place that we live in, we both love. And he would have kept us in that studio apartment for as long as he possibly could. So I upgraded him in a sense of like for lifestyle stuff, right? It's like I taught him how to enjoy life and stop planning for it all the time. Like if you're constantly just planning for life, then you're not enjoying life. Yeah. So that whole thing happened. Another thing, he was very calculated in his decision making and didn't take a lot of risks, and was always very smart and strategic in how he would spend money. And so when I started doing the branding stuff, and we were talking about him leaving his job, like I don't think that was something that he would have done if it wasn't for me, right? Kind of showing him like the entrepreneurial route, in a sense of like, hey, I've done this already, and like if we did this together, imagine, you know, how far we could get. Him making that decision was so cool, because I'm like, you're this like very right, you gotta do it this way. And him taking that chance, I mean, that was the start of, again, when it came to like the modeling stuff, I'm like, you can make money from this, and like you can build relationships from this. And you know, immediately when he listened to me, and we revamped his Instagram and started to post certain content, he was the men's Shea Moisture like immediately. Like he went viral, and like everyone knows him as the black bearded man, and he's like on Pinterest and stuff. So I definitely upgraded his mindset in a sense of like what's actually possible if like you do things untraditional, because he was very traditional. And then I would say, you know, there's a few things too, even like through dating, through engagement, and through marriage, that I've made him a more open person. And like you said with Sean, like more adventurous. So like even the destination wedding thing, he wasn't for it. And I like took him out there. We did a trip. Like I just explained the vision to him, and he was like, you know, and the day of our wedding, or that whole week, he just kept saying like, I'm so glad that we, you know, that we did this. But when I think of upgrading a man, I don't necessarily think about his style. I don't necessarily think about, you know, switching out the glasses for contacts. I think of basically like getting him to a point where now he can get a different caliber of a woman. And like, I think that as women, when you give this average Joe guy a chance, right? And you're with him, and through the relationship, you see him kind of flourish and like have this glow up, to where now, because he has all of the things, and you could say in contrast, it's the look, it's how the confidence he has because of the woman that you maybe were and who he attracted. And then if, you know, the situation ends up where he's leaving, and this has happened, we talked about this kind of on some episodes, the men who end up getting to a point where they're making a lot of money now, and it's really because of the security and the safe space that the woman created in the relationship for him to go off and do these things. Like they held him down. Now you're making all this money. Now you're buying all these expensive, nice clothes. Now you drive that nice car. Now you are fully upgraded, and now you're gonna leave me for somebody quote unquote better. That sucks. But also, I would say change your perspective if that happens to you, because at the end of the day, how would you feel if you left a man, if you left a relationship and the man was exactly the same as when you met him? That says something about you. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't say a great thing about who you are as a woman. The goal should be to upgrade each other, upgrade the partner. And when you leave, feel proud about the growth that you've had. And at the end of the day, if he's not your person, why does it matter who he's with after you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
but
true.
So I would say
that's
change your perspective, because your man should be upgraded when you leave. Otherwise, girlfriend, what were you doing?
And you know, it's funny because like when I got with Shane, I was actually a little bit intimidated. Like my husband can be a little bit intimidating anyway, just because the nature of his personality. He's a I hope that like one time we can actually have the guys on here.
I know we planned the girls. We did have a cameo of Lily earlier, but no, we need to actually.
Like I want to get the guys and the girls, because I love my man's personality, but it can be a little bit of a lot sometimes, because he's very like direct and assertive. So like initially, like when I was, you know, when we were dating, I was like, you know, I always thought of myself in a higher caliber of a woman, as a higher caliber woman. But when I came to him, I knew that I had to upgrade myself. Yeah. Because I knew that my man had expectations that weren't unrealistic, that I could meet, but I wasn't currently meeting them. So I needed to do my own work to like continue to like upgrade myself. But in order to be the woman that I think that he deserved and the woman that I wanted, and so that I could also help him to upgrade as well. So I actually lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Yes. I'm so happy it happened to Cece. I wish I could do her laugh when that happened to me. She said,
It was how he upgraded you.
Damn, I lost it. I totally like lost it.
I was listening. He upgraded you. How he like pushed you, and
This
you were
is
getting
like
there.
this is total karma from when
Brie.
the time that Brie was like, I prepare for
And she, like,
everything,
paused.
and she was like,
And we were like, shit.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh darn. Okay,
Come back.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah, I was just I was gonna add on to what Bree said about, you know, the woman who, and I really like that perspective. I'm gonna give that to one of my friends who is currently like expressed to me, like she was in this relationship where she was pushing this guy to, you know, do some of the things to move towards a marriage. Introduce me to your mom. Let's go out with friends. Let's do this, you know, da-da-da-da-da. And she ended it because there was no like, which was the right move. There was no like trajectory towards that. It was just, let's keep going on trips. Let's just keep chilling. And she made the right decision. So then fast forward, he's still texting her. She has him blocked, which I agreed with. And then they go to church because that's where they met. She went to church and he's there with a girl and his mama.
Wait, hold on.
Yes. So he's doing the things that the girl taught him,
or was pushing
my friend
for.
taught him.
And were they together still, or like?
No, they're broken up.
Okay. Is it okay?
The guy is now doing the things that she wanted him to
do, but with someone else.
Well, I would say, and I don't know the full situation, but I think it's a problem in general if you're in a relationship and you have to push for somebody to
This is
introduce
true, and
you
that's
to
what
their
I
mom.
told her.
I
100%.
just think for him, she wasn't the right fit.
Right. And I think that's in general. Like,
Because
if
the man knows you're supposed to do those things.
he acted like he didn't. So yeah,
he knows. Because look at him doing it now.
Right.
Yes.
Because,
You know?
because that means that he just didn't want to do it for
her. That's true.
Yeah.
But she said, you know, a lot of the other little things she kind of taught him, like, you know.
She's seeing him now do it.
Yeah. And
I
so
mean,
I,
but
like,
you know,
and she said that's happened before.
men are kind of like dogs in a sense of, right? A man starts off as a child. A dog starts off as a puppy. A puppy doesn't know where to pee and poop. It does it wherever he wants, right?
Yep.
Just like a man, when you're not settled down, you're peeing and pooping wherever you want, on whoever you want.
Okay.
And you're doing all these things.
Yeah.
And it takes time to train a puppy to be a well-behaved dog. It takes time for a man to go through the experiences that he needs to get to the point of wanting to settle down. It doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you. It means that the timing for him was not right.
I think it's the timing. And I just love that perspective.
What'd you say?
She said, I know what I was going to say. But I really want everybody to like hold on, grab that perspective Bree just said, because I was that girl too who like I was pushing and pushing for this, pushing for that, and then the guy goes and does it for someone else. I love that perspective of you got him ready, like you were somebody important enough to change him for the next person. He just wasn't for you.
Yeah.
I love that perspective.
Yeah.
Point it, put it on Instagram, something. It was awesome. Go ahead, Cece. I came back.
Cece's point.
Okay, before I lose it again. So what I was trying to say was, you know, when I first met Shane, I didn't think that I could upgrade him in any other way initially, because it's just me being naive, other than like, you know, what I said earlier, like, you know, haircuts, clothes, whatever, because he was already established. He was a doctor, financially, he got money,
Right.
he had
That is a little intimidating.
he had all his things together. Like he was already like, he was doing it, right?
Yeah.
So when I came into it, I knew that I had to also upgrade myself in order to continue to be the woman that I think deserved a man like Shane, right? So I think that that's important. Like when you come into a relationship, not only should you not I don't want to say seek, but if you feel like the need to like upgrade your man in certain avenues, continue like do that, upgrade him. But also you have to realize as he's growing, as he's upgrading, you need to
Don't get left behind,
sis. So you also need to do the necessary things to continue to better yourself and upgrade yourself.
Yeah.
But also, not only did I just, do some things that I felt like on the outside were good, but I realized later on that, even though I felt that he had so much to already offer and that there wasn't anything else that I could upgrade, there were so many different things that I did later on realize that I did help him upgrade with. And a lot of it happened, honestly, when we had our daughter. Like I've upgraded his empathy. I've upgraded his patience. I've upgraded his mindset on how he should engage and speak to people. Because Shane, like I mentioned, he's very direct. He's can kind of sometimes be a little bit harsh, and not everybody
It's not palatable for everybody.
exactly. So you have to learn how to navigate people in different ways, and because of that, it has helped his practice. So the way he practices now as a medical professional is better.
Bedside manner is
different.
better.
His bedside manner is different. So those are ways that I didn't even know that I was helping him upgrade, but just because of the nature of the person that I am, and the things that I wanted to see him do differently, like his attitude. Shane had an anger problem initially. And I let him know very like upfront, very early on, like this is not gonna work out for me.
Yeah.
So he has taken the steps to do that the necessary internal work and reflection of like, why am I so angry about this? Like, what are skill sets that I can do to kind of help me calm down or just not even care? So
because that helps not only like in your relationship, but like relationships with family, relationship with Capri,
with everybody. And that was something that when we found out we were having a daughter, I was a little bit concerned about, because he was he had a quick temper. And he got irritated quickly, and I was like, listen, I'm not gonna tolerate this shit with my kid. Like, if we're doing this for the long term, this needs to change. So I just say all of this, the thing, like, don't come in there with like a list of like, oh, I'm gonna upgrade this and this. Just being a beautiful, genuine person, you're gonna naturally upgrade each other in so many different ways that you didn't even
That's what a relationship's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad you said that, because one thing that came to my mind was like the difference between like someone being naturally upgraded through a relationship and somebody just being a full-on project that you take on.
A project?
No, there's a difference.
I used to love projects.
Yes,
said that.
And I think that it's important, like, before you decide if you're going to be with somebody, you can't go into it thinking of all the things that you're going to change about them for the better. That's not fair. Because at the end of the day, maybe that person doesn't want to change. Like if it's style, for example, if you communicate to them that you don't like their style, but that's what they like, that's what makes them comfortable, and it's something that they're not willing to like budge on, you can't be like, well, I'm going to force him, or he's not going to, like I had to ask myself, I'm like, dang, so I liked Dre, and the way that he dressed, I did not care for a certain type of clothing, and every time I would mention it, he gave 2 cares about whether I liked it or not. He wasn't wearing it for me, he was wearing it because it's comfortable, and that's what he likes. And I had to ask myself, I'm like, okay, am I going to press the issue and like try to change him? And to Cece's point, sometimes when you're just present with someone and when you give them the right types of reactions and the right types of positive influences and positive validations, they will naturally start to do things or move in a way that is more aligned with what
That's
you
what
want.
I was about to say.
So for example, I stopped telling him how much I disliked the certain clothing he wore, and instead when he wore clothing that I did like, I would compliment him.
Yes.
And now guess what? He doesn't own not one pair of those stupid freaking scrunchy jean pants. I was like, they're like you know how like jogging pants at the bottom like scrunch at the he used to wear jeans that did that, and I hated him. So I was like, you know what? Instead of giving him negative reactions, maybe give him positive reinforcements when I feel that he looks good. And what it did is it created a vision for him of what I like to see him in and what made me happy. And naturally, those things started to dwindle out. So now there's a difference, right?
Yes.
I'm not making a decision of whether or not I'm dating this man because of the clothes that he's wearing, because at the end of the day, it might be something you can't change or that he doesn't want change. It doesn't mean that it should make or break going into a relationship with that person, though. So it's like the difference between a project and you having someone that maybe you're like, oh, together we can grow together and we can upgrade each other, is that the upgrading, that's normal. It's good. It's healthy. It should happen if two people are wanting to just better themselves in general. The project is somebody who on their own is already doing what they're doing, living how they're living, and they see nothing wrong with it. And if you think that you're going to step in and put, roll up your sleeves and get to work, it's like you're going to end up sadly mistaken, or you're going to end up when that relationship ends, all you're going to be thinking about is all the hard work that you put in to change this person.
Yes.
So it's silly.
I was going to say, I think when we talk about upgrading a person, like we're saying bringing out the best, bringing out better qualities. I think before you can do that with any person, you have to build a level of trust with that person. So what I mean by that is, for example, you and Dre, you were saying this thing about the scrunchy pants that you just could not stand. And sorry, scrunchy pants.
I want to pull up a picture.
R.I.P. the scrunchy pants. But you switched the method up. Dre trusted that. He trusted you. He trusted that you had his best interest, And now that, like, when you brought that up, when Sean would, like, mention stuff about, like, I don't like those shoes. I don't like that. Because he's a shoe guy. Like, those are like grandma's shoes, but whatever. Like, I would kind of take it offensively in the beginning. Yeah. But he'll say it now, and I know, like, I trust him. I know, like,
he has
he's
a
not
preference.
He's not even that. I know he don't want me to go out
looking crazy.
Yeah. Like, I trust him.
Yeah.
Like, if I think the other day, where were we going? Was it it was Cece's home housewarming. Start throwing shit. Just don't fit me. I don't like it. I just threw it out there and I went to the bathroom. So he went in there. He's like, I like this cardigan. Like, he started putting things together. And so, like, some people might, like, resist, but I trusted him.
Yeah.
And I didn't wear what he asked me to wear, but, like, it, like, lightened the mood. I trusted what he was saying. And so, I think that's a good premise and a good foundation for any relationship, especially when you are I don't like upgrading. I hope that's not taken wrong on the internet.
Yeah.
But, like, bringing out the best qualities in a person, polishing certain things.
Yeah.
I think before you can go to, like, suggesting fashion, suggesting changing up your look or your hair or whatever, or, like, they have to not get offended.
Yes, that's important. Because
they have to not get offended. So there has to be a trust.
Because I was like that too.
Yeah.
Like when Shane would say, like, okay, a good example is the way I speak. So Shane has a very, very vast vocabulary.
He does. I mean, did you know she is Mexican, but doesn't speak Spanish. He is fluent.
In
Shane is fluent. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, listen, my man.
We definitely need y'all on our shuttle.
The whole bullshit.
Oh, I know.
When we get to Mexico.
My man is very, very, very smart. Honestly, one of the smartest people I've ever met. Like, super, super smart. But I'm not dumb, but I'm not the brightest when it comes to, like, vocabulary and stuff like that. And so a lot of times I don't have the best words to express myself. So sometimes instead of saying what I'm truly trying to say, I'll just, like, cuss or, I'll express it in a way that doesn't have a lot of couth. It doesn't have, it's just, I could do it better. And so in the beginning, Shane would kind of not
like condescend a little bit,
and it made me feel. And I have this insecurity about my intellect because my brother is also very, very, very smart. And so growing up, I always kind of felt like intellectually I was in his shadow. not because like my parents or anything. Just it was just like a personal thing. So I always had a little bit of insecurity around that. I wasn't like the best student. So Shane would kind of like jokingly like, you know, poke fun a little bit, like, ha ha ha, you're not serious, right? Like you, like I would use words wrong, or I would make up a word that I thought was a real word, you know, and so when he did that initially, it made me feel very insecure. It actually hurt my feelings. It made me feel. It made
you
my
got a little defensive,
very defensive, very defensive. And so to your point, I think that as you're trying to upgrade someone, and I know that he was just trying to help upgrade my vocabulary.
Usually they are trying to just help, or we're just trying to help.
I think that the way that you go about it, the way that you communicate it, the way that you offer that needs to be in a way that your partner will receive it.
Because at the end of the day, and I was gonna say this when you had mentioned the situation of like if someone comes to the table, or if you're in a relationship with someone and they're not showing like any regard for like there needing to be a change, like for you, until he mentioned that he didn't like your shoes, you saw no problem with your shoes.
Like, dang, my shoes are right for real.
It's also important that you first accept your person as they are, because if you don't accept them as they are because you think you're going to change them, that's a big issue.
That's important.
So the person that you're communicating to, hey, I think you could do a better job of this, or I think you could handle this a different way, or hey, I think this would be appealing on you and make you feel more comfortable, or whatever the case might be. You have to first remind them that, hey, I accept you,
I love you the way you
and
are.
obviously like I love
just
you
trying to polish
wholly
this
as
a little
person.
bit. Just try to help out.
I just want to see if this is something that maybe you're interested in doing with me. Maybe we could do like classes on, they have like, you know, Spanish classes, like if you wanted to get fluent in Spanish, or the vocabulary things, like maybe it's like, let's learn 10 new words a day or something.
Got a second language.
You got
I
to
don't know
be
it.
accepting of who the person is and how they are first. And then through love and through like helpful, positive reassurance, you have to then
the other person has to trust.
And I think, you know, now, of course, well, because Shane saw my reaction to how he said certain
like,
things,
oh.
like he's like, oh, that didn't land well.
Yeah.
So now, like the other day, we were like right before you guys came over the other day, you and Rachel, I had said something. I was on the phone with you, and I was like, it was fucking bomb. And when I got off the phone, Shane was like, hey baby, instead of saying fucking bomb, why don't you say it was exquisite?
Oh,
it was, you know, like, you know, like so something like that. Like, there's other words that you can use instead of saying fucking bomb. He was like, I'm not trying to like, you know, like say what you want to say. I'm just offering another suggestion. You know, so like now,
and you received it well.
I received it well.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, he's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can say this a little bit differently. And so like now he knows how to communicate with me in a way that I'm going to receive it.
Yeah.
Initially, that was not the case.
That could take some time for people.
It does take
I mean,
time.
honestly, usually it's like, it could, like outside of Dre's like example with, he didn't give a fuck about it, what you said about his
He
clothes.
literally gave no response.
Some people might
verbal,
have like
no physical.
Nothing.
Like,
But also Dre knows his wife. And like, so this is something that Shane talks about all the time. Like, we love our Bree Bree. Sometimes she has blonde moments. And so,
she's very intelligent though. So don't get it twisted.
No, she's brilliant.
A lot of times.
But there's times where she has blonde moments. And but Dre knows his wife. So when Bree Bree has these moments, he just like,
he has the same reaction as the scrunchy pants, right?
like he just kind of like.
So, but I was saying that like
way.
some people might have like insecurities. That's what I'm saying. Like it, like Dre didn't care. That wasn't an insecurity for him, but you cared because of whatever.
Right, I already had my own insecurity about that, and so for you being a, you know, I'm already insecure because now I'm dating a doctor, and like before I was dating park promoters, they're not the smartest motherfuckers. You know what I'm let me tell you. So
they ain't telling you to use exquisite instead of fucking bomb. They're saying fucking bomb.
Exactly. So like, you know, I already had this insecurity, like, oh shit, like now I'm dating this like super smart guy. Like,
that would make I totally get that.
So
100%. And I think it was kind of flipped for me and Sean because he thought that I was the more educated one too.
Yeah.
And I do think there were moments I probably came off condescending to him.
Yeah.
But now, like, whenever he does an Instagram post, he's like, "Can you edit this?" You know how I feel about that. He respects that, you know, I probably do have a better handle on grammar and spelling than him. So I think that, like, coming to an understanding that certain people have strengths. You're not strong at everything.
Right.
And if you can trust your significant other, then let him upgrade you. Let him change the fucking bum to exquisite.
Exactly.
So you can walk up in the gala with your black dress and this wine is exquisite instead of fucking bomb.
And it's just going to make me an even better chameleon so that I can go into any room, be around anybody, and be able to carry myself in a way that makes me proud.
Yeah. But also, I would say on the flip side, be weary of like control. Like people trying to control you. I think that's not what we're talking about right here. That's a different topic. But there's a difference between someone wanting the best for you and someone trying to control everything about you too. Yeah. But that's a different topic.
Agreed.
I like this. This was a good episode.
Let them
I don't have any
upgrade you.
water left.
It's okay.
Yeah, I wish we could like, Punna, let me upgrade you. Automobile cake. Some purple labels. Upgrade you. Up, can I up? Let me upgrade. We're not stopping till you sing.
Let me
with
upgrade
us.
you. Let me upgrade you.
I only know upgrade you. I don't know any of the other
why
words.
don't we know the words to this at all?
I don't know any words to any song.
Is that the song where she fell down the steps
Ooh,
in the concert?
Oh,
I don't know.
No, it's Ring the Alarm. Never mind.
Nah.
Anyway. That's a different song.
Okay, well, we weren't prepared and we don't know the words to
We just know upgrade you.
But
We
after you listen / watch this episode, blast some Beyonce and feel yourself to this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a review on the podcast, and comment and let us know what topics you want to talk about. Follow and engage with us. We are actually starting to do lives on the Relationship Restored page, so you want to make sure you're connected. Follow us at Relationship Restored, at Cece Costin, at Angela Hanna, and at Brianna Aponte.
Awesome.